August 2003 saw a Northwest derby between two clubs that had suffered fluctuating fortunes in recent years. Both Blackburn and Manchester City had been relegated from the Premier League, but under Graham Souness and Kevin Keegan, they were enjoying a new lease of life. Rovers went into the game in 4th place, Manchester City were 5th. Unbeaten in 6, Blackburn welcomed back Stephen Reid and Andy Cole. Cole reunited with Dwight Yorke up front. Shaun Wright-Phillips was one of the very promising youngsters Kevin Keegan had at his disposal. Keegan started the match with 5 summer signings: David Seaman, Michael Tarnat, Paul Bosvelt, Trevor Sinclair and Antoine Sibierski. Robbie Fowler was missing with a rib injury. One fledgling unbeaten run was in danger, but the winners would go top. So which ex-Liverpool legend would be celebrating, Souness or Keegan? Martin Tyler's the commentator.
So here we go. Blackburn 4th, Manchester City 5th, separated only by goal difference, and the fact is they've started well with a win and a draw apiece. They're on a good playing surface here, and it promises well for the next 90 minutes. Anelka without the help of Robbie Fowler tonight. Sylvain Distin, the heart of the Manchester City defence, with the header. Tugay. Stephen Reid starting on the left. Well, there was a decision there for referee Alan Wiley to make. And he's given Blackburn an early sight of goal. Little contact there by Joey Barton, who's a lad from Liverpool, had a few games in the Premier League last season. He's a box-to-box player in midfield. On the edge of his own penalty box then, he was deemed to have committed the foul that could lead to Blackburn getting off to a real flyer here. Emerton is there, Tugay with his back. Initially he's back to the goal. He's now they're trying to make it difficult for David Seaman to see this. Stephen Reid wasn't quite set up exactly into his stride. And then Emerton is penalised. Came over with Harry Kewell, Brett Emerton, as a 15-year-old, but didn't have the necessary ancestry to come into the English game at that age. He's now a regular international player, of course, and satisfies the criteria in that respect. City were last here in March. They lost to a goal from David Dunn, who, like Damien Duff, has moved on from Blackburn to pastures new. Well, he has a fearsome reputation at striking a dead ball. Tarnat, and wow, he's lived up to that reputation. There won't be many Premier League goals scored from further out than that this season. Little smile from a man who knows it's very early in the piece here, but one of his signings has done the trick. Look at the swerve. It took it away from a most capable goalkeeper, Brad Friedel, who got a touch. But Tarnat, with some swerve and some dip and some power, scores an extraordinary goal. And it's Blackburn Rovers 0, Manchester City 1. Didn't look like a goalless draw, this, on paper. Two teams that have settled quickly to the rigours of the new season. They need an equaliser here, Blackburn, and well, it's all about decision-making, and Reid recognised he was in space, but the angle was always going to be very difficult. You could see he had a couple of alternatives if he fired it across the face of the goal. Unlikely to beat Seaman, even with a shot on target from that particular position. Bosveld. Plenty forward for Manchester City here. Wright Phillips! Manchester City went for power again. But impressive numbers forward, the attacking philosophies of Kevin Keegan. Ends up in the side netting, and sure it brushed past Friedel's hands and touched his hands on the way. Well, they're enjoying this, Manchester City supporters. Cole. York's in the centre. There might be something on here for Blackburn. Here's Cole. There's a sliding but a painful challenge from Sinclair. And it's Reed who has the shot, parried out by Seaman, and Dwight York found it coming just too quickly at him to be able to deal with the rebound and slot it into what was by then an unguarded net. They really should have cleared their lines, Manchester City. And that was a let-off. And what you can say at least about Seaman's technique, he knocked it out with sufficient power. Didn't turn it away from the goal, and he'd have been probably punished if he had angled it away, because there was another Blackburn player coming in. It's a poor clearance from Taylor. Well, wherever you're watching, I'm sure you're enjoying this. Halfway through the first half, chances at both ends, mistakes being made. And already a goal of an unusual nature that you'll probably remember all season long. Two-guy made to stretch there, but it ran on for Taylor. Neal. Got past both centre-backs. And it's led to a shot from Cole and a corner for Blackburn Rovers. The initial ball in from Lucas Neal got past both Distin and Sommet. Well, Emerton taking the corner this time rather than Neal. Oh, and it's done the trick. And David Seaman, who notoriously was beaten direct from a corner in an England game. There was a touch, I think, at the near post, and Trevor Sinclair could have been the culprit. He was. It's a Sinclair own goal. It's 1-1, and City couldn't keep the lead intact until half-time. It's going to stay in for Sobieski, or maybe he was doing a spot of pushing as well. Well, one apiece at half-time, a goal at the start of the half. An extravagant free kick from the German Michael Tarnat, who backed the power in his left foot and won the prize. And then a catastrophe at the other end for City just before half-time. Sinclair's head diverting in an Emerton corner past the rather hapless David Seaman. And at Ewood Park, plenty to ponder during the interval. We've reached that interval at 1-1. Psychologically, you feel that maybe Blackburn are in the ascendancy. On the scoreline, they're not. Neither Graham Souness nor Kevin Keegan has made a half-time change. Anelka, Barton, and it was almost going to be the moment that Sinclair, I'm sure, is craving to try and repair the damage for the own goal and find the same net, but this time for the right team. Bosveld, Gresco, Tugai, and Sven-Göran Eriksson is here, as is so often the case when there's a match to be watched, and as you can see, he's not alone. Bosveld irritating Dwight York there, and then Lucas Neal almost irritating his own supporters, and Taylor has done that with a wayward one, but it's a good tracking back by Andy Cole. Tugai, Emerton. And David Seaman had to go quite a long way to keep that out. It wasn't the firmest struck shot from Gary Flitcroft, but it was heading, it seemed, in the right direction. Emerton coming in from the wide position to link up with a central midfield player. It's a good reach by Seaman. Cole now. Good vision. Neal's cross. That would have been a sweeping move to produce a goal. It was a sweeping move. It didn't quite produce the finish at the end. But sometimes when Emerton comes infield and leaves the space for Lucas Neal, or gets the ball himself, it's causing Manchester City one or two problems. It was York who got the late equaliser at Bolton on Saturday. And it is a test, even for players as fit as these athletes. A test to play 2 games in quick succession. David Seaman not happy with what was going on in front of him then. It was Emerton's shot. It's over casual by Distin. Could have been mighty costly. Sommet being a bit more straightforward about his defending. Barton getting it back to Wright Phillips. And the spare man here is Sibierski. Well, you could see exactly what he was trying to do. Get it back across the goalkeeper and just get enough bend on it to see the ball arrow inside that far post. Certainly across the goalkeeper, but not quite enough bend. But it was very good football by Manchester City. What a goal that would have been. Sibierski, it's the one that caused a bit of consternation in the Blackburn defence. It looked as though it was initially too long for Anelka. Sinji High from Barton. Tarnat, whether he was winding up for a shot. Barton might. Oh, it's Barton, he's made it for himself, he's scored it! Well, real grit, and then glory for Joey Barton. He flew into this tackle, and the ball broke perfectly for him. Martin Taylor won't be happy about that. Friedel given no chance. Pretty much all his own work, and David Seaman particularly feels better. Manchester City lead again inside the first 15 minutes of the second half. referee is... Well, he's going to hope that this doesn't lead to a Blackburn equaliser, and his hopes are answered. Well, it's again bubbling up in the Barclaycard English Premier League into a most intriguing game. This one, Blackburn Rovers 1, Manchester City 2. It was a corner that cancelled out City's first lead. It's a corner they've got to defend here. Emerton again, taking it, it is 2-2! And Amoruso came powering in. Again, David Seaman didn't get there. Amoruso did. And via the set-piece route, Blackburn Rovers are level again. City, for their part, might look to release Anelka in a counter-attack. And Wright Phillips as well. Two guys slipped, and Sibierski has dragged it wide. 20 minutes left. Blackburn were backpedalling with a fair amount of alarm. Haven't been many offsides in this game. Play's been quite spread. Distin. And it was Anelka linking with Sinclair that got Manchester City into a threatening position again. Now it's Janssen shoulder to shoulder with Distin. Can't take your eyes off it for a moment. Slightly miscued by Seaman. Collected by Wright Phillips. It's a good response this by Manchester City. Bosvelt. Sun Chi-hai. Bosvelt again. Amoruso. Really decisive defending. Gresco bounces off Sibierski, and that surely is a push by the eager Beaver Barton. If anything, the game's getting quicker, and that looked impossible, really. No sign of feeling the pace of having played on Saturday. Sibierski. It's going to be a back pass, surely, not seen as a back pass, just stuck out of foot, Martin Taylor. Well, Graham Souness will feel, surely, this is a game to be won for Blackburn. Taylor getting a bit too tight. He's come through the ranks here, through the youth team, Martin Taylor. Very much the exception rather than the rule in this Blackburn team. Well, they were caught out there by quick thinking from Sinclair, who's very capable of coming in from a wide position and getting a goal. Bosvelt spotted him. It's a good idea. If Friedel had been off his line, might well have looped in to give City a third lead. Emerton, showing he's quite happy on the left. Brett Emerton for Blackburn. Cole! Danger snuffed out at the near post. It always looked in his time with Feyenoord, Brett Everton, that he was absolutely perfectly designed to play in English football. This is David Thompson for Blackburn Rovers. Now just inside the last 10 minutes. Oh, it's Janssen diving in and Seaman diving to save. Sunji Hai got close enough to make it maybe a more awkward header for Janssen, but he was in front. Distin, Tarnat, and here's Paul Bosvelt, who even in his early 30s has learnt something tonight with his first game in this league. Anelka. Very good movement by Cole. Early cross, and yet again Janssen, who's not the biggest forward you'll find, but has certainly got a sharp mind about the positional play required to get the better of big defenders. It would be easy to say that Blackburn are looking the more likely side to get the decisive goal, particularly from a corner. Outswinger from Everton. This time there was contact. I think it was Tarnat. Oh! Tugay turns away and wonders why the gods have deserted him, because this was mighty close. Any Blackburn touch then, and it would have ended up in the net. Somé sweeps it away. Oh, and it's one for Anelka to chase. Oh, he's put it in! And Manchester City do lead by 3 goals to 2. It looked an improbable angle. It certainly wasn't impossible, because Anelka has given City a third chance to get the 3 points and to go to the top of the table. It was just a massive clearance that was misjudged by Amoruso, and then really you've got to say by Friedel, who didn't keep his legs closed. And Anelka, a one-man counter-attack, has put the smile back on Kevin Keegan's face. Anelka's goal holds sway at this very late stage. Bosvelt, Sibierski, and he could have just held that a bit longer. And they are only dealing in seconds now. Well, that's Sinclair taking it back into trouble. Put in by Distin. Is there a saviour here for Blackburn Rovers? Thompson. Distin's head yet again. Then Wright Phillips. And Manchester City are top of the Premier League tonight. Nicolas Anelka's goal late on put them in front for a third time, and this time they held on. Tarnat scored very early in the game, and that lead they did hold until almost the interval. An own goal by Sinclair, 1-1. Then Barton, the young midfield player, such great energy from him, 2-1 City. Amoruso's header 2-2. But the scene was set for Nicolas Anelka to win the night for Manchester City and take them to the top of the Premier League. Blackburn 2, Manchester City 3.